What's going on, guys? My name is D. Anthony. I'm going to give you guys 10 budgeting tips for millennials that we all need to kind of pay attention to and practice a lot more. If you're like myself, we understand, you go out for a cup of coffee, you go out for a bagel, somebody wants to do brunch, it's Taco Tuesday, whatever the case may be, we end up kind of dipping into that pocket a little bit more than we actually would like to. So, I've written down some things. I'm going to go ahead and read those to you guys in just a second here. But if you're tired of kind of living paycheck to paycheck like a lot of us out there are, right? You really can never get financially ahead. Let's just kind of, call an ace, a spade, a spade. You're not alone. According to a recent study, nearly half of millennials are struggling with managing their finances. But the good news is that it's never too late to kind of turn things around, right? So with these 10 tips, I want you guys to kind of grab a pen, grab a notepad, kind of write these things down and see if you can implement and practice these things, as time goes on, right? So it's not like something that's going to be very, very easy to do in the start. It's definitely not going to be like something you're just going to master, how to budget and how to properly save overnight. But there's some things that you can do to kind of actually help you start that process. So this is the list that I created. I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you one by one here. So bear with me, right? First thing to do is obviously create a budget. Wow, right? We all kind of know that. We've all heard that. Someone has told you along the line, create a budget. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you do not start tracking your income and expenses to understand where your money is going, you're really not going to know where to actually cut back from. You have to create a budget, and that starts with writing down your income as well as your expenses. Number two, this is not going to be, a real fan favorite, right? Especially with everything on social media and, how life is kind of portrayed to us now, right? Especially us millennials and people our age and especially younger, that demographic. But live below your means, okay? Avoid lifestyle inflation, stick to a budget that's going to allow you to save money, right? So if you make $40,000 or $50,000 a year, there's no reason why you're driving a 2023 brand new car off the lot and paying $1,200 a month. You got to live below your means for a while, kind of budget, save, stack up some money, and then later on in life, later on in time, it doesn't really take that long to kind of save up a nice kind of cushion to go out and kind of do those nicer and more frugal things, right? Number three is to automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account each month. Make saving a habit, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, you have to practice making saving a habit. Just like you go out and you buy that Starbucks coffee every morning, make putting aside, whether even if it's $5, $6, $7, make saving a habit each and every single day. If you do things like cut out things that you like to kind of buy on a daily basis, like let's say, for example, since I'm already talking about it, a Starbucks coffee, instead of spending $5, $6 on a cup of coffee at Starbucks, put that $5 or $6 into your savings account each and every single day. It's the same thing, kind of cut back, make that coffee at home, do what you got to do to kind of penny pinch around, right? Number four is to avoid debt. Minimize or avoid taking on debt, especially high interest debt like credit cards, right? So some of these credit cards, they offer you really, really good, incentives for signing up. Everyone's approved. But when you look at the statement or you look at the, the sheet and it's 27, 21, 25, 18, 16% interest rates. You want to stay away and kind of avoid those high interest rate credit cards. Number five, make sure to save for emergencies. We never know when something's going to happen. We can get sick, our car can break down, somebody in our family could need help, paying a bill or going through hard times or just losing their job, or even you can lose your job. You're going to need to have to save for those emergencies. I would always try to recommend, and you've probably heard this as well, set aside at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund. So separate account, emergency fund, have it for a rainy day. But you're not really going to know how much your living expenses are if you don't go back to that first tip, which is creating a budget. How much income am I bringing in, and how much debt do I have to pay out? If you don't understand that, you're really not going to understand how much you're going to need to save for 3 to 6 months down the road. The next one is to invest in some type of retirement fund, whether that means taking advantage of a 401k or starting your own IRA, right? Your IRA. these are very, very beneficial, especially to millennials, especially, for people in their 20s or 30s, or even, still in their 40s. It's never too late. 50s, 60s, 70s, it's never too late to start, right? If you have income coming in, it's never too late to start. And if you don't have income coming in, I'll make other videos and show you guys how you can start generating some income really, really quickly. Number 7, consider low-cost index funds. I made a video on this. You guys can go back to my channel, just kind of released it earlier today. Consider investing in low-cost index funds as a way to grow your wealth over time. So I'm talking about 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. Index funds are a great way to do that. Cut unnecessary expenses, identify and eliminate. This also goes back to tip number 1 when you start creating your budget, right? If we don't have a budget, we don't understand what we can actually cut down and cut out, right? Eliminate expenses such as subscriptions, memberships you don't use. When I really did this, I was paying like over $200 a month in memberships and subscriptions. I had 2 or 3 gym memberships. I had like 6 or 7 different Apple iPhone applications that were charging me anywhere between $4.99 and $9.99 a month that were signed up for years ago, right? So it's like I had no idea. Just every month I knew that these $4.99 charges would come out for some document template transformation to e-sign, whatever. Apple has all of these apps for everything under the sun, right? Especially during COVID, when there was not a lot of face-to-face interaction. A lot of documents for business, especially in my business, were signed via e-doc. So some of those were charging me, to convert actual pictures to PDFs and send to people. That subscription was like $9.99 a month or something ridiculous, right? But next one is going to be to negotiate any bills. Call your service providers, see if they can offer you a better deal, or if there's any discounts you can take advantage of. One of them is, which I had recently done about 2 years ago, was go through my cable company, see if there was any channels that I can cut out of my plan. I didn't really need 550 channels. I didn't really need all of the premium HBOs and Showtimes and all that stuff, especially with the way everything is streamed online now. I was able to actually cut my cable bill down in half by getting off of that plan, kind of canceling that plan, signing up for a new one, making sure I had that internet package, but then just finding that streaming service that can kind of provide me all of the above without, kind of paying that high dollar cable bill, right? And the last one, I kind of already touched on this, but just want to kind of emphasize, live frugally, right? Adopt a frugal lifestyle by cooking at home, avoiding unnecessary purchases, and buying used whenever possible, right? Guys, it's not looking down on if you buy something secondhand, right? Especially if it's things that's like, I'm not going to say, go out there and buy, some used undergarments and put them on, right? But, if you need something, like, for example, the last used item that I bought was a camera lens, right? So I needed a new camera lens. Instead of going out and paying full MSRP retail, I went around and I looked at Facebook Marketplace. I looked at things like OfferUp and eBay, and I found someone with the same exact camera lens that I was looking for a fraction of the cost. So I actually saved like 50% versus just going out to something like Best Buy and kind of buying it right on the spot. Hope this video helps. If it did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be doing more type of broader content like this, kind of giving you guys more tips and tricks that you guys can kind of use in your everyday lifestyle, especially if you're a millennial or someone around my age, right? I can only kind of really speak around things and tips for people around my age because I'm currently going through it, right? So hope you guys can understand the video. Hope it didn't kind of like jumble around. I had all these notes kind of written down and wanted to kind of read them to you guys in the best as possible, so that way you guys can kind of, instead of having to sit there and like really scroll through everything, kind of just, put on your headphones and kind of listen for a little bit and just keep it real with you guys. But I will see you guys on the next video. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and make sure to subscribe and like.